Hey, gluten freers! This is the founder of The World is Gluten Free, Flo, right here with you. The World is Gluten Free is the online resource to find all things gluten free. On the site, you'll be able to search for gluten free locations near you. You'll also be able to find recipes, product reviews, research updates, and more. Here's a brief look at our homepage. Now, recently we put out a call to all of the gluten-free allies and recruiters in the gluten-free movement. Gluten-free allies are people who don't have to be gluten-free but support the movement. And gluten-free recruiters are people who have to be gluten-free and bring people into the movement through education. So we started the Educate and Enlist series where we wanted to spotlight these amazing people who help make our lives easier and who are awesome. So today we're going to highlight the work of a gluten-free ally, Joyce Wu, in this amazing interview where we talk about what she does as a gluten-free ally, her amazing gluten-free blueberry muffins with recipe, and so much more. I hope you enjoy. And please, if you're not part of the gluten-free movement, join us. You'll be cooler. Talk to us. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Joyce Wu. I'm a filmmaker based in New York City, and I'm a gluten-free ally.
Yay! Okay, Joyce, what did you know about being gluten-free or celiac disease like 5 to 10 years ago?
I would say it was actually in that time period that I first found out about it because one of my best friends was diagnosed. But before that, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing at all. Wow.
Yeah.
When and how were you introduced to the gluten-free lifestyle?
One of my best friends, we always knew she always hated Italian food and bread. I think because she had sort of unconsciously developed an aversion to it because she would feel so terrible after eating it. And finally, her father is a pathologist, and he decided to give her the test, and it came back positive. And I don't exactly remember how she told me, but then I remember that we had to be a lot more careful about what she ate after that.
Wow, wow. So once you were introduced to the celiac lifestyle, the gluten-free lifestyle, how has your life changed, if any?
Well, I think it actually made me a lot more conscious about what I eat. I've always been, I really love food and I really enjoy eating, but I guess it makes me, it's sort of like when you grow up in a kind of sheltered environment and then you see that someone else has sort of struggles that you never knew existed, that it makes you a lot more aware of what you have and how, you can, I don't know if that's perfectly analogous, but I think that it just made me a lot more conscious because I realized how difficult it was for her to find restaurants that she could, she's a close friend of mine, so every time we'd have to pick a restaurant, it would have to be a place that was, a gluten-free place.
Got it. What is a misconception that you had about the gluten-free lifestyle or celiac disease that has since been cleared up?
I think I didn't understand the seriousness of it. I think around the same time that my friend was diagnosed, it started to become trendy to just have a gluten-free diet for, I guess, health reasons. Non-specific health reasons. And it wasn't until it was described to me, I guess in a way that the disease, what it actually is, and that it's not just an allergy or a sensitivity, that it's actually quite a serious disease.
So many people want to know, Joyce, how exactly are you an ally in the gluten-free movement? Let us know how to love you.
Well, I've been, ever since I found out that my friend had these dietary restrictions because of celiac, I've been trying really hard to come up with gluten-free recipes because I cook a lot. And I just got into coconut flour. I know it's been around for a long time, but so I've been experimenting with a lot of gluten-free baking because I think one of the things that you miss when you have celiac is baked goods. I'm just trying to make better tasting, more enjoyable options and to spread awareness about it.
We're going to be sure to feature your gluten-free baked good that you had recently.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and that's the thing is I don't have celiac, but even I enjoy eating them.
It was good to you, right?
It was. It was
Yeah.
not only just taste wise, but I think there's a certain heaviness that
Right.
comes along, and I don't know if that's psychological, but I felt lighter and less weighed down.
Right. I felt that way too between the two. So tell us, what's a crazy lesson you've learned or experience you had while supporting a celiac?
I think that it wasn't a crazy experience that happened, but I remember my friend said that if you use a knife to cut a piece of bread and then you use that, it's like that's contaminated, or
Mm-hmm.
a pan or anything. And just to think about how it seems like just a few crumbs seems like nothing to someone who doesn't have celiac, but that it could be so dangerous to someone who has it. That was
Mm-hmm.
a shocking thing to me, was because I think if you don't have it, it's easy to assume that someone is just being a picky eater or that it's not a big deal, but it is a really big deal. And just hearing it in that way, I think, really sort of hit home about the seriousness of it.
Since you've been an ally for some time now, what advice would you give an ally in training who's just being introduced to a gluten free lifestyle or someone with celiac disease?
I think the most important thing is to take that person's dietary restrictions seriously. I think when someone has ethical or religious reasons for why they choose not to eat something, um, it's easy to respect those. But somehow, when you think, "Oh, that person's just being a picky eater," it's a misconception that um, it's not as serious or important as it is. So I think the most important thing is to take it seriously, and also to understand there's actually a really wide range of things that are really delicious to eat. I think I used to think that being like the significant other of someone who had major dietary restrictions would be difficult, but luckily with celiac there actually are a lot of delicious options that are still available. There are a lot of rice pastas, things that I'm sure you're aware of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So tell us now anything super cool that you're doing because we'd love to support you.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm actually putting together the financing for my first feature film. It's about an out of work Asian American actress in New York who runs out of money and she has to move back in with her parents in the suburbs of Detroit. And her hometown is facing a budget crisis and they want to shut down the community theater. So she agrees to direct a production of Gilbert and Sullivan's The Mikado to try and save it.
Wow, what inspired that idea?
Well, I was kind of one of these out of work actresses who was getting like prostitute number three in an episode of Law and Order kind of auditions.
Mm-mm.
And around the same time, I was coming up with the idea for this story. The library in my hometown is going to be shut down because people felt like there was a budget crisis and they couldn't keep it open.
So tell us, where exactly can we go to support you and this feature film? That
So
sounds awesome.
so I have an Indiegogo campaign, which is it's a crowdsourcing campaign that allows people to make contributions of as little as $10, and they get to participate in the film and helping make it happen, because this is the kind of film that wouldn't normally get produced by a Hollywood studio.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they can go to the real Mikado, mikado.com, and there's information about how to participate there.
Thank you so much, Joyce.
Thank you.
We're so happy you're an ally, and we'll be sure to support you as you've been supporting us.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Bye.